Dear student, this is the fourth and last session on topic of pharmacodynamics. In the previous three sessions, we have discussed the concept of agonist, partial agonist, antagonist and inverse agonist. After that, we discussed the different type of receptor and transducer system. After that, we discussed the dose response curve. The continuing the concept of dose response curve, we are now beginning with the drug antagonism. What is drug antagonism? It is this type of effect is produced when any time the two drugs are given concomitantly and the combined effect of these two drugs is less than the sum of the effect of individual drug. For example, drug A is given, drug A alone is given and it is reducing blood pressure by 10 millimeter of mercury. But when the drug A is given along with drug B, the blood pressure reduction is only 3 millimeter of mercury. So in this example, when we can see the effect of drug A has reduced in presence of drug B. So the drug B is antagonist to drug A. This is drug antagonism. It is classified into various types: chemical antagonism, physiological antagonism, pharmacokinetic antagonism, and pharmacodynamic antagonism. Physiological antagonism is also called as functional antagonism. Pharmacokinetic, it is also called as biological antagonism, while pharmacodynamic antagonism is also called as pharmacological antagonism. Now we will discuss what is chemical antagonism. Chemical antagonism, this type of antagonism is just the chemical reaction between the two chemical substrate and neutralization of the first one. This is the chemical antagonism. Suppose a person is suffering from peptic ulcer, and in condition of peptic ulcer, in most of the condition there is excess of gastric acid, and for treatment of this excess gastric acid, antacid are given. So gastric acid, which has presence of hydrochloric acid, it is neutralized by antacid. This is the example of chemical antagonism. This type of antagonism does not involve any receptors. Second example is chelating agent. It is also a type of chemical antagonism. When the heavy metal poisoning occurs, suppose iron poisoning occurs, desferoxamine is given that bind to iron and form the chemical compound which is the chelated product. This is the chemical antagonism. Second type of antagonism is physiological antagonism or functional antagonism. In this type of antagonism, the both type of drug have opposite action to each other, but they act upon the different receptors. So their physiology is same. Their physiology is different. They are physiologically opposite, but not involving the same receptor. For example, histamine causes hypotension. This hypotensive action of histamine, it can be antagonized by noradrenaline. Noradrenaline causes hypertension. So the action of histamine and noradrenaline is just opposite to each other, but they act upon the different receptor. Histamine receptor act upon histamine receptor, as we have discussed in the previous sessions, and noradrenaline acts upon the catecholamine receptors, alpha and beta receptors. So they antagonize the action of each other, but by acting upon different receptors. This is physiological antagonism. In pharmacokinetic type of drug antagonism, we have discussed in pharmacokinetic the lady who is on oral contraceptive pill for contraception, and she has been diagnosed with tuberculosis and have been prescribed with rifampicin. So this lady should use different contraceptive method other than OCP, because OCP contain estrogen and progesterone, which metabolism is induced by rifampicin drug, and because of induction of enzyme which metabolize estrogen and progesterone, this OCP becomes ineffective for contraceptive purpose. So in this example we can see the effect of estrogen and progesterone is lowered when it is taken with rifampicin. So this is the interaction of antagonism of pharmacokinetic type. This is pharmacokinetic antagonism. So rifampicin should not be given along with oral contraceptive pill. This type of antagonism may be in absorption site, may be in metabolism step, may be distribution step, and may be in elimination type, as we have discussed in pharmacokinetic. We will discuss in detail pharmacological antagonism or receptor antagonism, or pharmacodynamic antagonism. This type of antagonism involves interaction on site of receptor. One drug block the receptor action of the other drug. The drug which block, that is termed as antagonist, and the drug which action is blocked, that is agonist drug. This pharmacodynamic antagonism can be classified into two groups. First group is competitive antagonism and second is non-competitive antagonism. What is competitive antagonism? In which there is a competition between agonist and antagonist for binding to the receptor, because both have same chemical structure. So both will bind at the same site, same receptor site. So they both compete for the receptor. While their chemical structure, agonist and antagonist, chemical structure of agonist and antagonist is not similar. So they do not compete for receptor site. But even then they are antagonist. This type is called as non-competitive antagonism. When there is a competition between agonist and antagonist, there is a competitive antagonism. When there is no competition between agonist and antagonist, there is non-competitive antagonism. This competitive antagonism can be classified into two types again. First one is reversible type or second one is irreversible type. When the binding between antagonist and receptor is reversible, it is reversible antagonism, also called as equilibrium antagonism. When this binding between antagonist and receptor is not reversible type, it is strong, they do not detach from each other, it is irreversible type of antagonism, also called as non-equilibrium antagonism. Reversible type of competitive antagonism is shown by majority of the drug, while irreversible type and non-competitive type, this type of antagonism are shown by only few of the drugs. We can see in this diagram the structure is shown as receptor. You can see here in the A there is competitive antagonist and there is agonist. Both try to attach to the same receptor. Because both are trying for the same receptor, this is competitive antagonist, because there is a competition between the two, because competitive antagonist has similar chemical structure to agonist. When agonist bind to receptor, there is response because of different biochemical cascade occurs in cell. But when partial agonist bind to this receptor, agonist cannot bind to the receptor. So in that condition, some maximal response occurs, because partial agonist, as we have discussed in the previous session, it has intrinsic activity less than agonist. So response is some maximal, less than maximum, because agonist has the maximal response and partial agonist has some maximal response. So you can see here in this diagram, in presence of agonist, partial agonist has, they play a role of antagonist, because they are preventing agonist to bind receptor. When the competitive antagonist bind to receptor, no response is generated. This is antagonism of agonist. As we have discussed, antagonist doesn't have any intrinsic activity. Their intrinsic activity is zero. The diagram E is not a competitive antagonist. It is a diagram showing the non-competitive antagonist. There is no competition for binding to receptor between agonist and antagonist, because their chemical structure is different. So this antagonist cannot bind to the same receptor site of agonist, but it bind to the other receptor site other than agonist, and this site is called as allosteric site. But binding of non-competitive antagonist to allosteric site causes chemical changes, chemical modification to receptor site of agonist receptor site. And so because of this chemical alteration of this site, agonist cannot bind to its receptor site. So this is non-competitive antagonist. Now we'll see which type of dose response curve is produced in presence of competitive antagonism. On the abscissa, that is the x-axis, you can see log dose of agonist, and on the ordinate, on the y-axis, you can see percentage response. And three type of curve are shown in this graph: A, B and C. A curve is log dose response curve for agonist alone. No antagonists are given in this condition. In the B, this is the log dose response curve for agonist in presence of competitive antagonist. While C is log dose response curve for agonist plus increasing concentration of competitive antagonist. So when we can see, when the agonist alone is given, we obtain a curve A. When agonist is given in presence of antagonist, we obtain B curve. So as we have discussed in the previous session of discussion of potency, what effect on potency is obtained when the agonist is given along with antagonist? You can see here 50% response. From the 50% response, a perpendicular is drawn that meets on curve A and curve B. So we can obtain ED50 for agonist alone and ED50 for agonist and antagonist combined. So with this diagram, with this analysis, we can say in the presence of antagonist, you have to administer more dose of agonist to obtain the same response, because ED50 is more than ED50 for B is more than ED50 for A curve. So to obtain the same response, same degree of response, that is 50% of response, you have to give more dose of agonist. When you increase the concentration of antagonist, you have to give even more dose of agonist. So in the presence of competitive antagonist, there is a rightward shift of LDR curve. Rightward shift of LDR curve means more distance from ordinate is obtained, because you have to give more dose of agonist to obtain same amount of response. This is written here: a parallel shift of the agonist dose response curve with no suppression of maximal response. You can see in this curve, maximal response is intact when the agonist is given alone or when the agonist is given in the presence of antagonist. Maximal response is same, that means efficacy is same when the agonist is given along with antagonist, competitive antagonist. But curve is shifted to on right side parallelly. This is the curve shown the non-competitive antagonism. This is also called allosteric antagonism because antagonists bind to the site that is different from the agonist site, and this site is called as allosteric antagonism. We again here two curve here, P and Q. P curve when the agonist is given alone, and Q curve is obtained when the agonist is given along with non-competitive antagonism. In this case, we can see there is maximum height of curve is reduced, so we can see efficacy is reduced when the agonist is given along with non-competitive antagonist. But ED50 is same, that is potency is same in presence of non-competitive antagonism. So this table shows the difference between competitive antagonism and non-competitive antagonism. We here competitive equilibrium type of antagonism, that is the more common type. In competitive reversible or equilibrium type of antagonism, antagonists bind with the same receptor as the agonist. This is the condition for competitive antagonism because both have same chemical structure. But in non-competitive antagonism, these antagonists bind to the another site of receptor, because the structure of antagonist and agonist is not same. But binding of non-competitive antagonist to the allosteric site causes chemical modification to the receptor site for agonist, so agonist cannot bind to site. In competitive antagonism, you have to increase the dose of agonist to obtain the same type of response. So dose response curve is shifted towards right side parallelly. But in competitive type, there is dose response curve maximum height is maintained. But what happens in non-competitive type? Maximum height is reduced of dose response curve, that is called as flattening of dose response curve, and there is no rightward shift of DRC. When you give competitive antagonist in presence of agonist, the effect of agonist is reduced, and to show its effect, you will increase the dose of agonist. And now when you have increased the dose of agonist, the concentration of antagonist has been reduced and as comparison to agonist. So now the concentration of agonist has been increased in relation to antagonist. So the effect of antagonist can be negated. The effect of competitive antagonist can be neutralized by increasing the dose of agonist. This is called as surmountable antagonism. The antagonism has overcome because of the increasing dose of agonist. So the same maximal response can be attained by increasing dose of agonist. But in non-competitive antagonism, the antagonism is unsurmountable. So this is the surmountable antagonism. So intensity of response depend upon the concentration of both agonist and antagonist. If the concentration of agonist is more, the agonist effect will be produced. If the concentration of antagonist is more, the effect of antagonist will be seen. While the maximal response depends only on the concentration of agonist. Typical example of non-competitive antagonism is diazepam and bicuculin. Now we have discussed competitive reversible type of antagonist and non-competitive antagonism. Now we will discuss irreversible type of competitive antagonism. As it is a type of competitive antagonism, so there is a competition between agonist and antagonist for binding to the same receptor. But there is a difference between the reversible and irreversible type. Here in irreversible type of antagonism, antagonists bind to covalent bond to receptor, and these bonds are strong. So they bond the strong covalent bond. So they dissociate from receptor very slowly, or they do not dissociate from at all. So this is irreversible type of antagonism. There is a competition between the agonist and antagonist, so it is competitive type, but they do not detach, they do not dissociate from receptor, so it is irreversible type. So it is irreversible competitive antagonism. So some feature it have of reversible type of competitive antagonism, other features are from non-competitive antagonism. What is the feature for the competitive reversible type? That is parallel shift of towards right, that is present here, And what is the feature for non-competitive type? That is the flattening of DRC. So one feature of equilibrium type of a competitive is present here, and second feature flattening of DRC is non-competitive is present here. A typical example of irreversible type of antagonism is phenoxybenjamin binding to alpha receptor. So in this table we can see dose response curve. In competitive reversible type is parallel rightward shift. In non-competitive type there is flattening of DRC, while in competitive irreversible type the features of both of the first are present: parallel rightward shift as well as flattening of DRC. Both are present here. Type of antagonism is surmountable in competitive type because the effect of competitive reversible type of antagonism can be neutralized by if we increase the concentration of agonist. So you will overcome the effect of antagonist. This is surmountable antagonism. But the antagonism is unsurmountable in non-competitive type. And the effect is also unsurmountable in competitive irreversible type because the bond formed between receptor and antagonist is covalent strong bond. So you cannot remove antagonist from its binding site. So this antagonism is unsurmountable, that cannot be overcome. Examples: most of the drug which are agonist to receptor are of competitive reversible type, while example of non-competitive type is bicuculline diazepam. Bicuculline is non-competitive antagonist to diazepam, that is benzodiazepine, and phenoxybenjamin is competitive irreversible type of alpha receptor, and irreversible is also called as non-equilibrium type. So this finishes with pharmacodynamics. Okay.